Imagine turning micro movements in the NASDAQ market into real profits, live right before your eyes. In my live streams, I'll take you straight into the action of scalping NASDAQ futures. Watch as I analyze price action, volume, and order flow to identify scalping opportunities in this fast paced market. You'll see my trade setups, live executions, and detailed performance breakdowns, all in real time. Stay tuned and follow my journey as I work to master the art and skill of scalping NASDAQ futures.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great morning and a great trading session so far. The market has been weird. What is that right there? Oh, that's the prior open. Okay. No trades for me so far. My charts froze like early in the session, so I had to reload everything. So there could be a possibility that I missed something in the midst of my charts freezing. I'm not really sure, but so far I have not missed anything since I've actually been on the charts. Good morning, Applejacks. I think I'm starting to get a little sick. Probably from when I went to my best friend's house last Thursday. Everybody in that house was coughing. So I drank some tea this morning. I used to drink tea every morning. I don't really know why I stopped. Oh, probably because I wake up so late. But I did drink some lemon ginger tea this morning, so hopefully that helps. I don't really get sick that much. This is probably as far as my sickness will go. I just have like a tickle in my throat. So hopefully it stays right there. 1, 2, wait, one more swing. Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to do that. All right. Finally back in the downtrend. But we are kind of barcoding, so there's a 5-minute chart. Basically, every time we change to an uptrend, I mean, I'm going to take buys if it shows, but it's more than likely just going to be a huge pullback for the downtrend. Good morning, New. How are you this morning? Mike, good morning. How are you this morning? No, so the vendors for the copier, the owner reached out to me. I gotta reach back out to him. I forgot. But he basically said they're gonna make my issue a priority this week and they want to get with me either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, which I need to reach back out to him and say tomorrow. So, for that reason, I'm not really trading very many of my accounts just in case. But there is a setting inside of the copier that allows you, it's called Protect ATM. And so the default number of seconds is 3 seconds, where basically once you're in a trade, 3 seconds later, the copier is going to scan your followers to see if they have an ATM attached. And if they don't, then it's going to execute the ATM. So remember when I was saying that it was like, I would be taking profit on my leader in 3 seconds. And then at that same exact time, when the stop loss or take profit is executing, that is when the orders for the followers are submitting. Well, it looks like that's the reason. So what I did do was I changed the protect ATM settings to 1 second to see if that helps to fix the issue. Like I said, I will forever promote their copier because most of the issues that I've ever had with their products is just because of how I trade. Like when I first had an issue with the closed bar chart trader, what puts me into the trade when the bar closes, most people don't trade Renkos, right? And so basically, if I had a reversal bar that also painted, let's say 3 bars, like the reversal bar painted, 3 more bars painted, and they're all within the same second, not millisecond, but second, it would place my order at the close of the last bar that was within the same second. And so that wasn't an issue anybody else was having. So I guess I just pushed these damn indicators to the limits. So I'm pretty sure I'm the only person dealing with this because my take profits are hitting so fast. So we're gonna see today if me changing it to 1 second will help. Don't know. Good morning, Amelia. How are you this morning? I filled out my limit by like a millisecond. It was able to get out green. Oh, was it around like 8:53 Central Standard Time when the market just out of nowhere? Yeah, 3 seconds is a long time. But like I said, but see, the thing is, if you're not a scalper, like let's say you intraday swing trade, it waiting those 3 seconds wouldn't really make a difference for you. It only makes a difference for me because I'm in and out within 3 to 5 seconds. So we'll see if the 1 second works. So because of that, that is why I'm not trading. I'm only going to be trading my first PA, the 25K account, and then the TPT account. I figured that's probably the smartest thing for me to do because the TPT account actually renews Sunday. So I have 4 trading days to basically make $2,000. So it's like, if something happens to the account, which I hope it doesn't, it's cool because it renews pretty soon anyway, if that makes sense. And then the first PA, not to say I don't care about it, but it is rhythmic and so is my Top Step accounts. That's why I have not traded the rhythmic PA since October. First of all, I stopped because I wanted to fix my strategy, but then it was like, well, it's no point because I'm going to use Top Step rhythmic. So we'll see. I'm just going to trade this account, try to do a little something with it. But yeah, these are the only 2 accounts that I'm willing to risk. I do have the one Apex account that's like $800 away from passing. As much as I want to trade it, I don't want to put it on the line right now. And then the Top Step accounts, one renewed on the 15th and the other one renews on the 4th. So I have more than enough time for those. I don't need to rush it really. So, oh, you trade Renkos too, 24 and 12. I couldn't even move fast enough. That's why I have the chart trader like that. And that's what, when I first got it, I was like, man, I need this because if I trade the right way, most of my setups are momentum based. I don't have time to literally put a limit order in. Like, no. Once that bar closes, that's it. Every now and then I might be able to buy click or sell click my way in, but honey, it's not that often. It's gone. So yeah. I don't think I ever used a 24 and 12 chart. I think I've only used well, on NASDAQ at least, I've only used a 20 and 1, 20 and 2, 16 and 1, 16 and 2. I did a 12 and 1 before. That was insane. I'll never do that again. I think back in the day I used to use a 12 and 4, maybe. Something like that. I'm pretty sure I probably started off there because that's usually, if you look at the example charts on Ninja for most of their indicators, they use a 12 and 4. So I'm pretty sure I probably started off with a 12 and 4. All right, where is, hold on, I gotta find here. All right. Still barcoding. We'll see how far we push up. We've created pretty much equal highs at this point. But I would still consider the barcoding kind of starting with this bar here though. Let's see, 36.50. Came about 3 ticks away from hitting the equal high of the last buy bar. Do I ever use regression channels? No, David, I don't. Yes, Janelle, we did. We did. I think I was at 1K on the last stream, and I'm gonna do a giveaway pretty soon. I just have been busy with other stuff, and I want to make sure that however I do it is the smartest way, because I've been learning from other YouTubers. You got some people who be scamming and taking other people's shit, and I don't want that to happen. So, I'll probably by Friday should be doing the giveaway. So just be on the lookout. But yes, thank you. Thank you. We did it, Joe. We did. We did. I was so excited when I hit it. I actually caught it when I was at $9.99. I did. And then it went to like $9.98 for like, I don't know, maybe a couple hours. And then I ended up hitting the 1K. Girl, a gift card to No, I'm not. No. Oh my gosh. Apple Jacks. Oh, Apple Jacks. Oh, please do not make this. I gotta see. I feel like I have some vitamin C packets. I need to take them. I rarely get sick, and it's probably because I take black seed oil every day. I feel like for the last probably 6 years that I've been taking it every day, I rarely get sick. The only time I really get sick is if I get overheated while I'm sleeping. And I do remember getting overheated last night and like maybe 2 nights ago. So I'm probably actually sick from that, not from being around my best friend and her sick family, because I'm around sick people all the time and I don't ever get sick. Let's see. All right, we had other plans. All right. 104. Interesting. I didn't think it was going to be that much. Negative delta. It's the first pullback, which we don't take. Not, of course, Greedy wants food. Now she gonna pass y'all a waffle fry. Girl, I actually did tune into 2 people yesterday, and I just was like, why are they trading? Me and Amelia were so confused. And then people had the nerve to tell Amelia, because she was asking, like, you really gonna trade today? Well, it could be some volume because of the inauguration. Like, tell me you're a new trader without telling me you're a new trader, honey, because that has nothing to do with anything. It's very interesting. Very interesting. 43, we did not get down far enough, and it was equal delta. Very interesting. Neutral. But yeah, you have to be a complete gambling degen to trade on holidays, especially, first of all, not only is the volume and volatility non-existent, but 9 times out of 10, it's not even a damn trading day. So what the hell is the point? Please, someone explain to me. 18. Is my chart gonna freeze again? No, it's not. I just don't be understanding, honey. I don't even open my charts. And the crazy thing was, I told my best friend, I was like, I'm gonna go look at last year and see if there was any kind of volatility on, MLK Day last year. Then I said, what's the point? It doesn't count as a trading day anyway. No, I'm gonna sleep. And that's what I did. I woke up early, tuned into the two streams, and fell asleep while watching one of them. Yes, baby, they were trading. No, he isn't even trading today. He had a loss and just wasn't feeling. Tell me you've never traded a personal account. Exactly. Good morning, Red Poker. How are you this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I didn't even know he wasn't trading today. Yeah, yesterday just was so pointless. So pointless. I mean, you have people who actually made money, don't get me wrong, but then it's like, if you're trading with a company that has a consistency rule, do you really want to trade today's session as well? Because you kind of run the risk of possibly fucking up your consistency. So what is the point? I don't understand. All right, the market's just not being nice today. Let me see. But like I always say, as long as my strategy is keeping me out of the barcoding and out of the chop, I'm fine. So I can't really be that mad. Can't really be that mad. Now the question is, do I want to count that 54? Okay, or you can do that too. That's fine. But yeah, I didn't even open my charts. I opened my charts late last night just so I can 20. Just so I can change my copier and everything around. And that was it. That was it. So even though I'm not gonna be focused on this PA, I did go ahead and put the daily profit target at 480 because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if I trade any other props that require a buffer, okay, and then I can withdraw into the buffer like Apex, baby, she's going to stop at the buffer, take her 500, and then she's going to keep pushing. I'm not looking for max payouts. That's the name of the game, is paying yourself. So I will pay myself that first 500 and then we'll push from there. So I'm basically I'm going to do the same thing when I start trading my 50K account as well. Just go for whatever the 30% rule is and make that my profit target for the day. And if I hit it, we're done and we'll just move on. 28. This is a problem. 4, 5. I gotta treat that like it's this. Oh, it's a 1 bar pullback anyway. I hate when the zigzag messes up in the middle of the swing, like here, because then I gotta manually calculate this in my head. But anyway, yeah, so it doesn't look like we'll hit that today because I'm not getting any setups, but just so you guys are aware. That'll be the only time I stop myself from trading. Yes, Red Poker, I'm sorry. These are Ninja Renko, 16 and 1. Taking payouts, I took out too much, yeah. And see, like, I don't, 2, 3. I don't mind continuing to push at some point, but I just feel like it is so important to pay yourself first, though. 17, 19. Super important. 6 cons, 56. Ooh, wee. Nice, Janelle. Congratulations. I love it. Good morning, Kellyanne. How are you this morning? I love it. I love it. That is what I'm talking about. I told you. I told you. The way you've been trading, your win-loss ratio, your risk to reward, you can afford to risk a little bit more. All right. Can we get something? $76. Zigzag just changed. Just not what I wanted. Which is also expected just because we are just pretty much in the pullback here on the 5-minute chart. But again, we're kind of barcoding our way the entire time. So who knows if I'll actually get a setup, but I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be patient and we'll see. All right, that's a higher low. 6. It's just don't have enough to keep pushing. Damn it. You're all done today? Nice, congratulations. This is so good. I was using them, but I can't see the gap, so I switched to O Renkos. Ah, got you, got you. Still practicing patience. Listen, risking that much on your trades, you'll practice all the patience you need too. Oh no, this Trump market is kind of weird. I'm taking my money and going today. I feel you. Tried Orinkos in the past, but just didn't work well with the way I trade. Yeah, I tried Orinkos, but the thing was, what I found myself doing was eventually after playing with the settings, I ended up basically making them look exactly like my Ninja Renko, so it kind of just was pointless. Extremely pointless. Because for me, in like the way that I trade, the gaps don't really mean anything for the most part. So, what? Oh, shit. Well, that sucks. Well, I tried to get in, you guys, but I forgot to turn off my auto liquidation. That was a perfect setup, too. What an idiot. I definitely tried to submit that order. Where is the damn it. I'm so used to having to do that on Top Step because I always turn my auto liquidation on all of my Rhythmic accounts at the end of the session. But I don't know. I guess I just mindlessly wasn't thinking because I never had to do it on the Apex one because I haven't traded it in so long. But yeah, that was literally exactly what I was looking for. Anytime I'm getting divergence in the same direction of the overall trend, I basically am just looking for the delta of my entry bar to be less than the previous delta in the same direction, which this one was. The delta here was, I can't even see that far, 18, maybe 19. And then the delta of this one was 2. So it was a trap of the sellers. You could see the point of control. The sellers are in control. So I just, yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. But the order rejected because auto liquidation was on. How great. So we wait for the next trade. What time was that? 9:22. So basically, my trade was in the wick of the current candle, the bottom of the candle. How great. I hate when stuff like that happens. Let me go say I'm getting used to. Yeah, it's not that easy for scalping, especially depending on how, first of all, your risk to reward, and then how many ticks you're going for. And honestly, that's why it took me a year to put this strategy together, because I'm doing a 1-to-1 with 4.5 points, which is a for real scalp. And most of my trades don't really last that long. Like even that trade that I just missed, I would have TP'd in about 8 seconds or so. But yeah, that's why it took me so damn long, but it was worth it. Now I can say that I would not be able to trade this way if I didn't have the closed bar chart trader, because trying to manually enter those trades is literally impossible. That one would have been okay because the outside bar right there, I would have been able to buy click in, which is actually what I did, and it hit it, but auto liquidation. I need to see the gaps and then it didn't show them. There'll be another one. How can we learn your strategy? Good morning, webinar promotions. No, I don't have a course or anything. I don't really know if I ever would, but probably at some point I'll teach different parts of it. I don't know if I'll ever teach the full strategy, and here is why. I'm not a gatekeeper. Let me just make that part clear. But I have another YouTube channel, and I used to teach people about budgeting and debt elimination and credit and stuff like that. And I had a course. I also sold planners that I created myself and everything. And my only issue with ever coming out with a course is that I decided like 2 years ago that I was done with nursing. And then a year ago, I decided I was done with my credit repair business and I wanted to focus on trading. Number one, because not that I'm tired of people, but sometimes the type of people that you have to interact with in nursing, and then when you have your own business, is very annoying. Okay. And so one of the things that I loved about trading since I started 10 years ago was that it was just me and my computer. Okay. I was the kid who did not like group projects because I'm a perfectionist and you suck, and I don't, not you, but they sucked and I didn't. And so by creating a course, that means that it's no longer just me and my computer, right? Even with putting out free content, you kind of subject yourself to people asking you a bunch of questions. And not that I don't like answering questions, but I'm that person that, like, if somebody buys something from me, I feel obligated to be there for them all the time. And that can be very demanding and it could be very stressful. That's why it took me so long to even create my Discord, because I'm like, well, when I'm done trading, I don't want to feel like I'm obligated to be somewhere, right? And I feel like if it's my community that I'm helping to build with you guys, I feel obligated to be there, if that makes sense. And so you can have, a course where, hey, you're on your own, but do you really think people are going to be on their own? No. They're going to be asking you questions. You're going to get emails. Hey, in lesson 5, module 2, you said XYZ. How do I? And it's just like, bro, I created this for you to do it yourself. So I just don't know if I will ever. If I ever did anything, I would probably just put out just like basic stuff, just so that people can understand kind of what I'm looking for. But I don't know if I'll ever do a full-blown course, just for my own sanity. That was a lot to say. I don't know. It says it's still over 5,000. Child, listen, and it's because, like, literally my entire life, I've always been in careers where I'm serving others. And I love serving others. I love helping people. Literally every single career I've had has been helping people. You guys also have to understand I have a background in network marketing, and I was at the top of multiple companies. I was a co-founder of a multi-million-dollar company. And so and I had to build my own team. I had a team of over 1,000 people. So having so many people have access to you, and I used to speak at events. Um, I started doing this in my early 20s, speaking at events, running events. Like, I've done a lot in my lifetime. So at almost 35, I kind of don't want to do any of that shit anymore. Been there, done that. A lot of traveling, everything like that. So now it's just kind of like, I just want to be to myself. I do. That's why I disappear sometimes. Just kind of is what it is. Not you suck, Applejack. Shut up. But yeah, so but there's certain content I am going to put out pretty soon, mainly about like how to use volume in order flow and trading, whether you're using Renkos or not. But I noticed that a lot of people who trade regular candles, I noticed that many of them, if they just incorporated volume, you don't even have to get as detailed as order flow, but if you just incorporate volume, you would stop getting stuck in so much crap. You know, you're chasing a breakout or looking for a break of structure. But when you incorporate volume, you would notice that the only reason why when you started the pullback, the trend was already weak. Now it's a lot easier to see it on Renko's, obviously. You know, we can see that this is currently weakening. There's only 600 volume in this swing versus 1.4 in that one, right? It's not as easy to see it on time-based candles, but you can still see it. And so sometimes what I see is that people see that there's a higher high in the market, there's a pullback, and so they want to then get into the trade for the pullback, but they don't realize that just because you have a higher high doesn't mean that the trend is still strong enough for you to get into the pullback. So yeah, there's certain content that I'm going to put out with that pretty soon. But yeah, I have a lot of information in my head. I've been trading for a long time. I only struggled the last year because I've been trying to do this. And this was probably the most insane project I've ever done in my life. And it was stressful as hell, but it's been worth it. It has 32. Let's see, 550. All right, there's too much volume in this swing. Also, I don't take any trades where my entry bar hits the VWAP, which is where we've been trading at most of the day. So I gotta kind of wait till we clear that. Wait until you get to 50, then you really listen, Kellyanne. Baby, I've been there since before 30. Good morning, Timbo. How are you this morning? Good morning, Paul. How are you this morning? I swear. Yeah, YouTube trading is super hard. But I think that, so here's the thing. When I started my YouTube in December of 23, I started it knowing that like I was going to be using this as my accountability tool, which is what I did on my other channel as well. And that's kind of how and why I ended up abandoning it. Like I haven't really posted over there in like 6 years. I have 18,000 subscribers over there. But I started it to hold myself accountable for basically to help me get out of debt, right? And so I never really was a budgeter to begin with. I don't really budget mainly because I'm not a big spender. So the reality was I needed to use YouTube to keep me consistent with budgeting so I could get out of debt. And I did. I paid off like, well, I had about $40,000 in debt at the time that I started between car notes. I mean, all kinds of stuff you could think of, student loans. And so I've been debt free for, I think this will be my 7-year anniversary this May, if I'm not mistaken. But it was like once I became debt free, I don't really have nothing to talk to y'all about no more. As bad as it sounded, but I didn't. I wasn't going to keep forcing myself to budget just for the sake of making YouTube videos because I'm not a budgeter. Like I have not worked in 2 years. I took a break for 2 years purposely. And And I've been able to live off of my savings for the last 2 years, and I still have a lot of money left. But I kind of needed a break from life, to be honest with you. But I knew that my strategy, part of me felt like my strategy might be ready at the time, but I also knew it likely wasn't. And so for me, I'm like, all right, I gave myself a year, which it pretty much took a year to put together, but I was okay with losing. Like, I felt like if I was losing consistently, this sounds crazy, but if I lost consistently in front of people for a year, once my strategy was together, it wouldn't be so much pressure on me to be profitable and things like that. Like, I don't ever go on tilt. They'll tell you, everybody who's been watching me for the last year will tell you I've never been on tilt before. I thankfully have that psychological aspect of it together. But when I do have red days, it doesn't bother me because I spent the last year losing. The only thing that was annoying about losing for the first year, was number one, I couldn't quit because I already stopped working. I already like committed to this being my accountability partner, right? So I couldn't quit because of that. But I also couldn't quit because it's like you're not young anymore. Over the last 10 years, you start, you stop, you start, you stop. Most of the time I stopped because I had so much other shit going on. It was like, oh, the markets will be there in a year, so let's just take a year off. And that was the dumbest thing I could have done, but it got me here. It got me here. Not chicken salad. Oh gosh. Please don't put apples and grapes in it. Maybe without the period, see? But yeah, so that's the thing that I think will help me long term, is that I've already done all the losing. And then it would just be annoying when certain people would come to my YouTube trying to tell me what I had to start doing and need to do. And I'm like, you guys do understand there's millions of ways to trade. I don't think anybody needs to do anything besides leave me alone. So I had to block a couple of people just because they just started getting on my nerves. But aside from that, it makes it a lot easier now. Hopefully Friday was the last time you guys saw me rage in the way that I raged, because that was a little draining, actually. Just a tad. Just a tad. 5. That should not work out. One of the overnight levels is right here. Overnight low. Are we still barcoding? Not really. We closed above the highs here, but honestly, until we break up here, I can see us kind of going back and forth. So far, I think I only had that one trade today, which is the one that my auto liquidation was still on for. I don't think I've had anything else, which is kind of annoying when you're scalping the way I am. But then when you look and see all the barcoding and the choppiness that happened, I'm not surprised, and I'm actually happy because it keeps me out of that stuff. All right, we had another 30. Can't be a trap, which it would be right now. And the delta is negative anyway, so it doesn't work out. Yeah, we should break here. Maybe not. One tick away from breaking back down into the downtrend. Apples and grapes and chicken. Whack, don't let Applejack hear you. So Apple Jacks, it looks like you are the only one who likes apples and grapes in your chicken salad. Even Timbo had no choice and he still calls it crap. Oh my gosh. Any reason why the charts are including yesterday's numbers for today also? Oh, Paul, it's because yesterday and today count as one trading day. I think the only prop firm that doesn't count it as one day is Top Step if you're using Top Step X. I think, but I'm pretty sure everyone else, um, I'm pretty sure everyone else counts it as two. I mean, counts it as one day. I'm sorry. You know what you thought you had friends. You're watching for the dump here, Kellyanne. Yeah, most of the time when we changed to an uptrend, it was very temporary. We didn't do very much, and that was kind of that. Like even, well, we did a little bit of something here, but the order flow wasn't really showing properly. And then like here it was, but I don't take trades where the half trend goes through the body of my entry candle. I only like wicks. Um, so yeah, just kind of waiting for something to happen. Just waiting and waiting and waiting. All right, so I'm kind of waiting on my middle. I keep forgetting to put the middle half trend over there, but I'm waiting on the middle half trend to change back to an uptrend. It's a downtrend right now. So with it not matching the other two, we can see some consolidation till it matches. And basically, anytime we come down and we come really close to the change zone, pretty much my middle half trend has changed directions. So we got to kind of wait. We either need to break above here, the downside pressure line, or we need to break the zone and go back to a downtrend. One of the two. Have a good day, Kellyanne. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, Kid Poker, it is a range day. A lot of poker names today. They're normally in Nutty's stream, but Nutty's not streaming today. But yeah, so I was able to stay out of the barcoding here. I don't really like this price action either. We had the trade here where I missed because of the auto liquidation being on, but I would have gotten a buy right in the wick of that candle, but I haven't had anything else. So, but like I said, until we like break the highs up here, I still consider this all to be a range. So let's see if we can break above the downside pressure line. That's the other thing. We've kind of been around the VWAP for a good little minute today. A lot of my entry bars were touching the VWAP, and since I don't trade that, kind of was screwed there too. All right, let's see if we can get the break. Checked in. All right, got the push through. Still want to see us get away from the VWAP though. It's not a new level. All right. Entry bar touched the VWAP. We gotta wait. You can see the zigzags already turning red. Might turn back. We'll see. That was actually the volume and order flow pattern I was looking for, except not only did we touch the VWAP, but also the zigzag's not attached to the entry bar. It's attached to the bar before, so I wouldn't have been able to take it anyway. Market waiting on tariff news. I I needed to do something, honey, because I only have 4 trading days to get this 2K on TPT. I'm really wanting to try to pass it before by Friday, but we'll see what happens. All right, there's the push through. We will see what happens. Too far. See how we keep basically magnetizing, going straight back to the VWAP. Yeah, even if I'm not able to get much today, which had I not had that stupid thing on, I would have been up 430 on the one trade because I am doing 5 contracts on the TPT account, just 1 contract on the PA. It's a 25K, so I don't need to go more than that. Okay. Spot week 2. It's impossible for that to work out, so we gotta kind of wait. Patience is a virtue. 1.1. Hopefully, affordable indicators can fix my issue. I'm really curious. Hopefully, I can get one trade in at least so I can see if me changing the protect ATM strategy thing will fix it. I have a feeling that it will, but we won't know until we get into the first trade. Even though I did still have a profitable week last week, despite Friday's tech issues screwing me over. When I did calculate my P&L, what it should have been based on my win-loss ratio last week, I actually should have been up $1,500 per account, not $950. So that just made me angry all over again. It did, I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's see what we do here. We are rejecting the downtrend. How many times have we changed trends? This is the other thing. This is another reason why and how I know when we're choppy, even without looking at the time-based chart. Based on how many times we switch trends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've switched 8 times today so far. A good trending day, you'll usually only see about 3 or 4 changes in the first 2 hours of the market being open. Looking at your chart, I've already taken numerous trades. I don't understand Renko. Well, Timbo, well, no. You didn't fail. You just didn't find the way that you wanted to trade. But so for me, like I've tried different things. I tried just trading volume. I've tried just trading order flow. And now I trade a combination of the two. And so there's very specific volume and order flow patterns that I'm looking for in order for me to take trades. So one thing you have to realize is that whenever I do take trades, I take trades at the close of the entry bar or the close of the reversal bar. My stop loss is only 18 ticks. And because this is a 16 tick chart, my stop loss is literally 1 tick beyond the open of the entry bar, the reversal bar. So I have to be very meticulous in which trades I take because I don't leave myself very much room for error. Now, if I had a wider stop loss because I was willing to have a negative risk to reward ratio, I would take way more trades, right? The other thing is that with the way that I've put the volume and order flow combination together, my strategy should work when the market is trending and when it's choppy, which was my number one priority, because I know too many people who are really, really good at trading when the market's trending, or really, really good when the market is choppy, but a lot of people are not good at both. Um, and one of the biggest problems is that we can trend in the first, I don't know, 30 minutes of the market being open, and the next hourly candle can send us into a chop. And when you don't really know how long you're going to chop for and when you're going to start trending again. And so when I first started putting the strategy together a little over 2 months ago, I started November 12th. I had one day of backtest data because I'm just sick of backtesting. I've been backtesting for a year. Um, but the market was really trendy then. And so a lot of the rules that I had worked for weeks because the market was trending. But then once we hit December, when the market started chopping more often, I was losing. Okay. And even if it was trades where I wasn't taking them, because I sit out of a lot of trades, I haven't in the last couple of days, but my biggest problem is that I sit out of too much. And it's probably, I think it's a subconscious thing because I lost for a year. So now I like question things like, did you really look at that setup all the way through? Did you miss something? But I don't need to do that. But yeah, I would always learn the most when the market was super choppy, because things that worked when the market was trending don't work when the market's choppy. And so I had to make adjustments on the super choppy days so that even if I won, let's say for example, I have a setup that when the market's trending, it's 4-0. But when it's choppy, it's 0-3. Well, 4-3 is still technically profitable, but not really. It's basically break even. So why even take that setup to begin with? Because I don't want to have to look at a 5-minute chart to see what we're doing, trending, choppy, whatever. And so the other thing is when the market's trending really well, I have significantly more setups than when the market's choppy. So I can afford to lose out on the wins for those particular days, rather than I cannot afford to lose on those same setups when the market's choppy, because on a really good trending day, I'll have like 10 setups, 10 to 12. On a really choppy day, you're talking like maybe 2 to 4. Right? So if one of those 4 trades is a loss, I can't really afford to lose that trade at all. Um, and so, there's times where I see pullbacks and it's nice that it worked out, but I don't really get FOMO at all because I know that what I've come up with works. And so the thing is, if I see, like, there are times, don't get me wrong, because some of my setups are a little too restrictive and I know that. Especially my counter trend divergence moves. So I'm starting to add some other volume and order flow patterns back in. But what'll end up happening is I'll see a move, like let's say here, I would never take this because this was where we changed to a downtrend. But let's say this move right here. This was a nice push. I'm only looking for 16 ticks. It went 27. It wouldn't have came back and hit my stop loss. I will look at a trade like that, right? And I'll be like, all right, let's see if this pattern works. And then when I look at all of the data that I have from November 4th until today, it's break even. So it looked good because it worked today. But when you look at the history, it doesn't normally work. And that's what also helps me not have FOMO. I know what works and what doesn't, kind of at this point for the most part. Not whenever Trump decides. No more anger. You're old. Really, Janelle? Interesting. Very interesting. Huh. Yeah, that 919, honey, we gotta be. I hated 919 on almost every single instrument. Hated it. So now, okay, wait, Janelle, do you make sure that you don't have an entry at 8:30 now? Because of it? For those who don't know, I was telling everybody a couple of weeks ago, I think, that when I used to trade golds and crude and NASDAQ as well, I never got into a trade if the entry triggered at 919 because I don't know what it was about 919, but it just was not good. I lost so many trades at 919. It was ridiculous. 7. All right, so we're still kind of rejecting the downtrend here. This is where we changed to a downtrend at 9:47, so about 7 minutes ago. We tried. We had the initial rejection, came up, tried to change to an uptrend, rejected off of that zone, pushed back below, and we're back inside. So this is now where we'll change back to an uptrend. But yeah, this market is pretty ugly. And it's funny because I literally told you guys the day after New Year's, I think, that I didn't really like trading the day after a holiday, whether it was a half day or a full day off. And here we go. But I did have one set up and it was a win. So, but I just expected more volatility today though. I just realized I didn't have the is that in the right spot? Forgot to put that up there. All right, so I have about 20 minutes left in the session. We'll see what happens. Sometimes on days like today, that's when I'll get my trades after 10 o'clock. So we'll see. I know last time we had a super choppy day, it was right after 10 o'clock that we finally kind of had some movement. And I'm pretty sure I ended up getting like 2 or 3 trades in. So we'll see. Learn my lesson after the stop loss hit twice. Oh, yep, that's all you need. You don't need no more than that at all. Especially when you know, like, that's the only difference between those 2 trades and your other ones is just the 830 part. Yeah, nope. 1, 2, 3. Market, what the hell? But we will not chase. All right, we finally got the switch. Let's do the uptrend. Let's see if we immediately reject. So this will be what, the 9th trend change? And if we could just get the hell away from the VWAP, my goodness. Matter of fact, let me see something. Standard 9. All right. 369.18. And there's the VWAP touching in. You dirty bastard. Stop touching that. If you all were curious, this is what the 5-minute chart looks like with the VWAP. We've touched it quite a few times today. And it's very annoying because I can't take trades at the VWAP. I can take trades at the deviation levels, but not the actual VWAP. Good morning, Airman. How are you this morning? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the stream. We're over here having to be patient because the market sucks today. Bullish for an hour after market opening, drops like a falling knife. So wait, Janelle, the A plus setup for you, is it when it drops like a fallen knife, or is it when it's bullish for the hour? Janelle is trying to convert everybody, okay? Everybody. All right, so we do have the rejection. We're probably about to head back into the downtrend. So that'll be like the 10th trend change, which is absolutely ridiculous. Not to her cult. Why can't you trade at VWAP? DJ, the reason why I can't is because based on my back testing, whenever my entry bar touches the VWAP and everything else about the trade is perfect, the volume pattern, the order flow pattern, the combination of the two, most of the time my trade's gonna lose, actually. I don't know what, well, I think it's mainly because I use the order flow VWAP. So, you know, when you're kind of trading at it like that and it's going back and forth, that's telling you whether the market is going to attempt to continue an uptrend or go into a downtrend, right? So taking a trade at the VWAP is not really the smartest thing. Just at least with the way I trade, because I am micro scalp or hyper scalping, whatever the hell they call it. I'm only going for 4.5 points. And so if I go to, let me see if I could go to my TradeZilla. So the last time I looked at the VWAP trades was December 3rd. That's when I declared that I cannot take trades at the VWAP. I basically had 7 trades there at the time, from November 4th until December 3rd. There's some trades that's probably missing also. But either way, I had 7 trades. 2 of them won, 4 of them lost, and 1 of them broke even. So when I see stats like that, I'm like, shit, we'll just stay away from the VWAP, no problem. So that's why I can't trade there. Because I can be getting into a buy, and you have to remember I'm very zoomed in because my bars are only 4 points. So I can be trying to get into a buy here. For instance, where's the last time we touched it for a buy? I don't know. It worked out a little bit today. Like, it's always the times where you don't take it where it actually works out. But let's say I'm trying to get into a buy, but you can see that we traded below it first, right? So on a time-based chart, all this would look like is that we wicked through the top of a time-based candle and just fell. Right? So it looks like a good uptrend where my entry bar is touching the VWAP, but not really. All it's trying to do is just test it for that last time and just use it to push down. So yeah, on very zoomed in Renkos is not that great of a thing to do. Now, maybe if I had bigger Renko candles, it would work out, but not the way I'm zoomed in. Because, let me see. flow VWAP 9. So let me see if I can go back to that spot so I can show you what I mean. All right, so perfect example here, right? So this is back where I was just showing you a nice buy off of the VWAP to hit up, right? But when you look at a time-based chart, it wasn't really trying to use the VWAP to push up for an uptrend. We actually were just rejecting off of it to push down. Like every time we've come to the VWAP today, we've pushed down off of it. We were trading above it, we came below it, we tested, we pushed down. And each of these times we continue to push down, even now, this latest time, right? So that's why I don't trade at the VWAP on the Renkos, because I can't, I mean, I could look at the time-based chart to look, but I don't really look at a time-based chart to trade. So just to keep me from having to deal with that, I just don't take trades there. Now, what I could do is just look at a time-based chart, see where we are, and I could have possibly had setups where, like here, where we're selling off of it. Maybe that would have been a decent trade to take. I don't know, but I'm just careful and just don't take trades there at all. It's easier to do that. $41. I thought we were going to sell off there. Too much delta right now. And there's the VWAP again. Our lovely VWAP. After the, okay, I got you, Janelle. Not this cult is very green, period. You've been heavy on the commodities lately. Good morning, Trenches. I sure was going to ask where you were. I decided to give you a little sign. Good morning. How are you this morning? We are flat. I've only missed one trade. And that's because my auto liquidation was on Rhythmic. So, woohoo. Woohoo. So I didn't get to put my new copier setting to the test today. Shit. Let me do that. All right, we only have 8 minutes left in the session. It's going to be looking like a flat day. I actually was hoping that we would push down right here. Initially, it was, I think we were only about a tick or two away from closing that bar down, but we just created an outside bar and kept pushing up. That would have been pretty similar to the trade that I screwed up on. All right, let's see if we can make something shake in the next 7 minutes. That's not what I wanted. Too much delta in this bar. Thank you for the sub, DJ. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the family. I'm trying to see if I'm going to get into this trade, but the delta's still positive right now, so I forgot what number I need to 41. I have to use the bathroom so bad. Wasn't what I wanted. This right here, the yellow dotted line, that's the middle pivot level. Now I can take trades at the middle pivot level. I just can't take it at the middle VWAP for whatever reason. 14. That's got to pull back to the VWAP for that to be valid, which will invalidate it. You're more than welcome. Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Brandon. Hi. Good morning, you guys. Oh, you was in court? Oh. Passed my evaluation in 2 trading days. What now? Okay, so Clay, once the market closes tonight, around like probably 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, you should get the email telling you passed, and you can sign your PA agreement, and then you can pay for your PA. You can either choose monthly or you can choose lifetime. Lifetime right now is $85. Monthly is $85 for Rhythmic or $105 per month. Both of them are per month. $105 for Trade of 8. So you just kind of have to choose. But yeah, congratulations. Congrats. We broke above VWAP finally. Yes, finally. Good morning, Anthony. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, Brandon, that's what I've been waiting for. Because we have literally just kind of been so icky. I've only had one setup today, which is weird being a scalper, but it was a win. I actually had a setup in the wick of this bar here, but my dumb self forgot to turn my auto liquidation off in Rhythmic, so I didn't get filled. But I'm pretty sure that's the only setup I had. My charts froze at like, I don't know, what time did I write down? At like 8:41, like 6 minutes after I was on the charts, and it took a couple minutes for it to come back up. I'm almost certain I ended up missing a trade. I missed a pullback, I'm pretty sure, in the process of reloading everything. I don't even know why my charts even froze, but I only have 2 minutes left, unfortunately. So it's going to be a flat day, but flat is better than red. So we'll take it. What trading system are you using? Good morning, Uncle Pappy. So I am trading Renkos. I use Ninja Renkos. I trade with the 16-in-1 setting, which means that my bars are 16 ticks or 4 points. And then the threshold is 1. So once a reversal bar paints from top to bottom or highest to close or lowest to close if we're going up, it takes 32 ticks to close a reversal bar, and then every tick in that direction closes a bar as well. The half trends that you see on the chart are primarily the Ninja. It's called Nova Win now. It used to be called something else. I've had this indicator for years, and it's my favorite to trade pullbacks with. So I have 3 different versions on my screen. You can only see 2. Thank you for the sub, Uncle Pappy. But you can only see 2. So you have the minor one that's always in the front for the most part. It changes the colors of the bars to let me know if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend on the short term. I have a middle one that you can't see on the screen because I didn't want it to crowd everything. But essentially my middle one needs to to be the same color as the other two in order for me to trade. And then I have a major one here. The major one is the dotted one, and you can see that once we kind of break, you can't see the trailing stop, but they come with trailing stops. I just didn't want a whole bunch of lines on the screen for you guys. But when we break the trail and stop, it changes the background. So I know what my overall trend bias is. Now, I am not someone who only takes buys when the background is green. I take sales as well. The only reason why I need to know what the overall trend bias is because based on the trend bias, that's what lets me know what my order flow and volume pattern needs to be in order for me to get into a trade. Hold on, my phone is about to set an alarm off. All right. So yeah, so the overall trend bias lets me know what the order flow pattern needs to look like. And this is the reason why. So I will take pullbacks going in the direction of the trend. I also take them counter trend as well. I also take divergence that's counter trend and divergence that goes in the direction of the trend as well. So like this would be a divergence that goes in the direction of the trend, right? But essentially, if I'm looking for, let's say, a counter trend move like this, I'm looking for this pullback to sell off, even though we're in an uptrend. The order flow pattern is so simple. Basically, the delta of my entry bar needs to be less than this delta and this one as well. And the reason why is because if we are going counter trend, you need the least resistance possible, basically. So like, let's say that the delta of this bar is 50 and the delta of this bar is 20. Well, that lets me know that the buyers are still too much in control of the trend. That's why it took 50 delta to try to push the trend down. You don't want that. You want the path of least resistance. And so if this delta is 50, this one's 40, and this one's 20, 9 times out of 10, the trade is going to work out. So today I only had one trade today, which normally does not happen that way. But when the market is really choppy or ranging, I typically will have less than 5 setups in a trading day in my session. I only trade from 8:35 to 10:15 Central Standard Time because my strategy is momentum based. So it makes no sense to me for me to trade when volatility and volume starts to dry up. I don't come back in the afternoon because that's not something that I will consistently do. So I can consistently be on the charts for 2 hours. I can't come back later. Used to do that. I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, so I basically, when I say volume and order flow patterns, I basically look at market structure, right? So like here, you can see that the volume of this swing is 5,000. This one's only 700. So that lets me know that this is a really strong push up. Well, then I also compare this pullback, because if I'm getting into a pullback, I want to compare the volume of the pullback swing to the previous swing. Why do you want to do that? Because you always want to know if the buyers or the sellers are in control no matter what direction you're going, right? So this swing up with the volume lets me know buyers are in control. But if you look at the volume of this pullback, the sellers took over because there's 410 volume here and there is only, I can't see that number, it's less than 200 there. So that lets me know that the sellers have started taking over the trend. So because of that, there's specific order flow patterns I'm looking for. A lot of times I'm looking for the sellers to be in control of the point of control. There's an order flow chart that you guys can't see that I have over here. But I'm always looking to see who's in control of the point of control in my entry bar, because I'm always entering it on the reversal bar. So if I'm looking for a trap and I'm looking for a buy, I can't have the buyers in control of the trend of that bar. I need this to be the sellers to be in control. So I just look at a combination of different things. And that just comes from 2.5 months of data. But what I've also done is I've gone back to like different parts of last year to see like, all right, did this only work for the last couple of months, or is this something that's consistent? Because as much as people try to tell people that there is no way that you can have a set strategy on any instrument, you know, the market is all over the place. A lot of people call NASDAQ a crackhead, and it just moves to its own speed and moves to its own tune. And you just basically have to trade off of discretion. That's not the truth. Okay, don't let anybody tell you that. There are plenty of people here in the stream who trade very set strategies where they only enter when these things line up and they don't enter if they don't. And they will tell you that they're profitable with it. You just have to find what works for you, whether it's your personality, the time that you like to trade, and things like that. But once you find something that can consistently work no matter what the market conditions are, you've won. You've won. When I opened the PA account, I made $1,700 in the evaluation while I keep. Nah, Clay, it starts over. In any prop firm, once you pass the evaluation, they're gonna start you over from scratch once you get in PA. I'm sorry. I played the 10 a.m. 15-minute SMT for 1K. Ooh, nice, Brandon. Nice, nice. Do I trade gold? No. Good morning, trader is chick. I do not trade gold. I used to trade gold. I actually used to trade gold, ES. Oh, ES. NASDAQ was like the last thing I ever started trading, actually. I've traded all of the indices. The Russell 2000 is actually one of my favorites, to be honest with you. When I traded that, my Renko size was a 10-1 because a point on the Russell is 10 ticks. I've traded crude. I also used to trade bonds on my personal account years ago, and I loved it. I would always go for 21 ticks. So a TP on there was $680, I think, something like that. I traded like ZB, ZN, UB, TN. There might have been a fifth one, but I can't remember. But I know those four for sure. I really loved ZB and UB the most, but the other two kind of worked out as well. But yeah, Clay, like, that sucks. I gotta start all over. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I'm really heavily probably gonna focus on Take Profit Trader, because I mean, every prop you have to start over, but at least with them, once you hit that threshold, you can withdraw whatever you want above it. There's no payout windows. There's no max payouts, no nothing. So it's like me making that. Well, you only have to make 2,000 to get to the payout threshold on TPT, but you know, make your 3,000 and make your 2,000, and after that, you could just withdraw whatever you want. But yeah, so nothing today. I'll still show you guys. This PA, because I have not traded this PA since October, but basically I can't see that far, $1,275 in drawdown on it. Because I was not able to test the copier to see if this will fix it, me changing the protect ATM to 1 second versus the 3 that it was on, I'm probably still going to tomorrow trade this PA and not trade my accounts that matter. And then we'll see what happens. And then hopefully he will meet up with me tomorrow to see if there's anything based on the email. It's almost like they think it's my computer or something. It's not. 64 gigs of RAM, and my internet's very fast. So yeah, we'll see what happens, but I'll probably just trade the PA tomorrow as well to see what happens. Used to be a Russell girl. I think that's why I prefer ranges tight wide. It don't matter. I'm weak. Yeah, I love Russell because it moves fairly nice, and you don't have to worry too much about it being super whippy. I never liked the Dow, like, ever. I don't know what it was, but I just did not like Dow. It was either Russell or NASDAQ for me. ES can go to hell. Anybody who likes to watch paint dry, you're crazy. Not another gold member. Crude is in your backpack. I love crude as well. The only thing that I will say is that from the last time I used to trade crude and gold, I feel like they don't move as much intraday as they used to a couple of years ago when I used to trade it. Because with both of those, I would trade on a 10-1 chart. So I was usually going for, like, I had a stop loss of 13 ticks and a take profit of 13 ticks. And I also would trade a certain reversal pattern that was set up probably, I would say, 2 or 3 times a week. And I traded a 20 tick chart. So my stop loss would be 23 ticks and my take profit would be 23 ticks. And I loved it. But now when I look, I could put the same exact indicators on my chart now, which one of them is the half trend indicator that I have. It just doesn't, it ain't it. It doesn't move enough now for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know. You couldn't hang with Russell? Really? Oh no, Trader's Chick, why do you trade ES? On the micro side for now. ES is just And I traded ES. I would actually trade the 10. I did the 8-in-1 chart, the 10-in-1 chart, and I think I even did a 20 tick move on that from time to time. Now that one would only set up like once a week, but I think once I really got a hang of NASDAQ and I didn't look at it with, I don't even know why I ever looked at it like, oh my gosh, it moves too fast, it's too volatile anyway, because when I traded Forex, I traded the volatile pairs. I traded GJ, I traded GN. UJ didn't move enough for me. GA would move quite a bit, the pound versus the Aussie dollar. So it was like when I started trading NASDAQ, I don't know, for whatever reason, I was just like, oh, this is too volatile. But then when you watch paint dry enough, it's like, give me the volatility. I will master it. I will master it. Not you never going back. Don't you be throwing up. Now, I don't think I could ever go back to ES, though. I think that's beyond my pay grade. I can't. I cannot. I would have to do something where, like, I could just have like a little small chart over there on the screen. I could look up every now and then and just like, oh, it's time to buy. But it would never be able to be something that I like super heavily focus on. I couldn't do that. Traders Chick, you on the micro side? Do any of you guys trade a personal account besides me and Janelle? I'm going to start trading my personal account more often. I just want to wait until I know my copier is fixed, because what I don't want is for what happened on Friday to happen in my personal account, because then I'm going to have to fight somebody, okay? Lately, ES been slow as molasses going up a tree. Not molasses going up the tree. So when I get an improper setup, it's right on. Ah, I got you. Oh, Amelia, you do too? I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry, Amelia. Hello, don't forget me. So, okay, that's good. I always wonder, because there are so many people who trade props, don't trade personal accounts. And I don't know, I think that some people are like so new to trading that maybe their first exposure was in props. I'm not sure. But I just would like to see more people this year, especially people who are getting decent payouts from props. I would like to see some of them trading a personal account a little bit more often. But on the other hand, I feel like a lot of the traders who are pulling out a lot of money are not trading a personal account, because some of the same people will actually declare to you that they're not a good trader, that they are profitable in prop firms and they wouldn't be profitable in a personal account. And for me, it's kind of weird, because I get the purpose of playing the game of props to withdraw as much money as you can. You're playing the game and you're trying to get as much money out, as you can. But I just always wonder, like, the mindset of people and why it's not important for them to figure out how to be profitable in a personal account. Like, if the prop firm industry just went away tomorrow, then what? You know what I mean? But I traded in a personal account for so many years before. I didn't even buy my first, well, no, because I forgot when I started with FTMO, but it took probably like 6 years into my trading journey before I even bought my first prop firm account. Good morning, Fred. How are you this morning? Not how dare you. Amelia, I feel like I've never heard you talk about you trading in your personal account, girl. Haven't waiting for the money to deposit. I got you, new. I got you. It takes a couple of days. I know with the NinjaTrader brokerage, I think it took like 2 or 3 days for mine to deposit. Started with personal for 5 years, then learned about props and thought it was a scam. Me too, Amelia. I'm telling y'all, my best friend to tell you, I was like, trade other people's money. I said, honey, I'd rather lose my own money. What if I lose somebody else's money and they unalive me? No, we're not doing that. He was like, girl, what? So then eventually, after months and months to try to convince me, he started telling me about Apex, actually. He had an Apex account before I did, and he actually ended up getting funded with I think it was a 100K account. And something happened. I feel like they didn't have lifetime fees back then. I think it was all monthly fees for PAs, because this was at least, I bought my first eval with Apex in like May of 23. I didn't even really trade on it the first year. Um, I would like trade sporadically. So he probably had an account in 22, sometime in 22. So I'm almost certain they did not have lifetime fees back then. And what happened was his card expired and he didn't realize that he wasn't being charged. And of course, they ended up canceling his PA for non-payment. And he was so pissed about it. But he hasn't traded with props since then, though. You recently got into the prop game? Yeah. As long as you find a prop firm that works for your goals, works for the way you trade, you won't typically have a bad experience. I know so many people hate Apex, and I get it because I'm not the happiest with them either, especially with some of the recent things that have come out. But at the same time, those recent things don't bother me that much because, I mean, these are conversations that are had when there are not unauthorized recordings that are being published. All of these companies do the same thing, right? That's when you see the changes in payout structure and the number of accounts you can have and things like that. The only thing that still bothers me with Apex to this day is I don't like the ambiguity of the denial letters. Okay. And I've been fighting for this for a long time. However, now I'm no longer an Apex mod. John got 99% of us volunteer mods who helped to grow that Discord. He kicked us out of the mod chat. Don't really know why, and I don't really care. But I was fighting for a long time in regards to that, because as much as you want to tell people there's only two reasons why you would break that rule, whether it's the 5-to-1 or the 30% P&L rule, I've had a business before where I had over 150 automations that I built into my business myself, right? So in my credit repair business, if you did not qualify for my program, there were different reasons why. Maybe you're in a state where I do not service yet. Maybe you don't have any, you just have a low credit score, but it's not that you need credit repair. You just need to build your credit. So there were different reasons. There was probably like 7 different reasons why you wouldn't qualify for my program. And guess what? If someone did not qualify, I clicked the little button to tag them for the reason why they did not qualify, and they got that exact email and text message. It was no umbrella, hey, you don't qualify for the program. And why did I get so specific with it? Because I didn't want people to come back and ask me, well, why I don't qualify for your program? You know exactly why you don't. You got the text message and the email. So I really hope in the future they stop being so ambiguous and just tell you, hey, you violated this rule. You violated this rule. The general term of improper risk management pisses me the fuck off. Okay? It does. It makes me very angry, because you even have people who will go back and they're like, well, I don't feel like I violated this. And they might have. But the other thing is 3.0 has been out for almost 3 months now. It'll be 3 months on the 1st. Where are the detailed reports that you said people have that is in your FAQ that people are supposed to get? Well, when I asked about it about a month ago, I was told that they're still being worked on. I said, okay, well, where's the day 16? Because the day 16 is supposed to tell people what violations they have that would cause them to be denied so that they don't request. Oh, well, that was scrapped for the reports. Okay, but the reports are not ready yet. And based on his video, he said the day 16 was already working. Okay, so it's just certain things like that that bothers me. But aside from that, Apex does not bother me, right? But again, you have to find what works for you. The rules for Apex doesn't work for people who have horrible risk management. Just is what it is. Most of the people who complain about Apex have horrible risk management. If you have great risk management, which most people who traded in personal accounts before getting into props, we have great risk management. So telling me I can't lose more than 30% or go down more than 30% in a trade, well, that does not bother me because I wouldn't do that shit anyway. Right? What time do you start looking at the charts for trades? I do live stream daily. I don't start looking at the chart until I get on it. So at 8:35, when I get onto the charts to start my trading day, that's when I don't have to do any kind of analyzing whatsoever. I just trade literally what's in front of me based on whatever the overall trend bias is and what the volume and the order flow is looking like at that time. I do no pre-market markups or anything. That's why I have certain indicators like support and resistance indicators and stuff like that. That tells me everything I need to know. Everything. But yeah, so like for me, you guys will never see me trade my funded futures because they have a hyper scalping rule. You have to trade at least one of the two. You either have to hold for 5 points or you have to hold for, I think, at least 30 seconds or something. I don't remember. But neither one of those work for me because I go for 4.5 points. I'm not going to increase it. And most of my trades TP in 3 to 5 seconds. So what can I do? Nothing. I just can't trade with them. It doesn't make them a scam because their rules don't work for me. I just can't trade with them. I think there's a couple of other props that you can't hyper scalp or micro scalp, whatever they call it. And so you guys will just never see me trade with them. You'll probably only see me trade with Apex, Take Profit Trader, and Top Step, to be honest. But yeah, I get the uproar, like I said, but I also feel like people just have to use their brains a little bit and just remember that props are not here for us because otherwise they would be a nonprofit and not a for-profit business. So whatever has to happen for a company to keep their bottom line in check, because don't we want them to keep their bottom line in check? I'm confused. We want the props to continue going, right? They got to do what they got to do. And unfortunately, people saw an unauthorized recording of something that they don't want to hear. But the reality is the shit happens everywhere. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's my little take on it. There are a couple of props that I might look at in the future after I get a couple of payouts from the PAs that I have now and the evals that I'm going to eventually convert to PA, but probably for like a good couple of months, I just want to trade with these 3 props. I'm going to build these up. I do want to max out at Take Profit Trader and max out at Top Step. I don't know if I would ever max out at Apex. I just don't know. And I feel like if I do max out, I'm probably not going to go anywhere else because 30 accounts is more than enough. The way I see it, even if I just got one $2,000 payout per account per month, that's $60,000. I don't need any more than that. I don't need to manage more than 30 accounts. That's just me. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, very sucky day. Just the one trade that I missed. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully the market moves a lot more than it did today because this sucks. And it's so crazy because last Monday was a no news Monday and we had really great movement. So I was hoping that today would be like that. But anytime you kind of have a VWAP open, usually the market's just going to be stuck at the VWAP all day until maybe in the afternoon. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. But yeah. So great discussion, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like the video on your way out if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, guys.